October 20th, 2020 marked the 11th anniversary of my brother Joe Pek's brutal murder at a house on Birch Avenue in Kelowna. To many, he was just a statistic. Another homicide in Kelowna in 2009. But for my family and I, it marked the end of a life that was cherished by those who loved him and the beginning of a state of despair and devastation that continues to this day. Joe had a history with drugs and crime. However, Joe also had a story and was more than his reputation. Joe was the only son and brother in our family, and he was loved by his devoted mother and 2 sisters, not to mention extended family in Slovakia and countless friends. His heart was as big as he was, and he always put everyone's needs ahead of his own, even if it meant going without. He was a kind and gentle uncle to his 2 nephews who will now become men themselves and being denied the opportunity to fully know and spend time with him. Joe had a way of putting a smile on our face, and he had a passion and enthusiasm for life that was simply contagious. He was a talented musician, an athlete, and could speak multiple languages. He was funny, charismatic, and genuine, and the people who loved him truly knew his qualities. Unfortunately, Joe survived many life traumas as well, and one of the ways he dealt with his pain was through drugs. As any family who struggles with a loved one with addiction, it knows no boundaries, and the harm is irrevocable. Regardless of Joe's struggles, he was a human being of inherent worth and loved beyond measure. There is not a day that goes by that I don't think about the endless loss I feel. We grew up with a deep bond of affection for one another. And in the end, I was his big sister. I was supposed to protect him, and I ultimately couldn't save him. Joe died. And every day since then, a piece of us dies even more, because we know we now have to face a lifetime without him in it. The holidays are upon us, and this was always a special time of year in the Pek family. It is a time for family and connections. Yet we now dread this time of year because our family is incomplete without Joe. On October 20th, 2009, there were people at that house gathering who saw what happened, who know and can definitively prove who stabbed my brother. Maybe some of those people are now parents themselves, and I ask them to fathom the kind of pain to lose a child, or brother, or sister through a vicious murder. It is a type of pain that is indescribable. Our family would like to offer $5,000 to anyone who can come forward with information that will lead to the arrest and conviction of the person who stabbed my brother. Please, please have the courage to come forward and call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS and ease some of the suffering that we are feeling. Joe didn't deserve to die the way he did. Joe deserves justice.